Bun venit la o nouă ediție a emisiunii Ziua se apropie. În minutele care urmează vă prezentăm un interviu realizat de colegii noștri de la Christians for Israel cu Marnix van Ede, director de relații internaționale al organizației ZAKA Search and Rescue, care va evidenția munca vitală a ZAKA și nevoia urgentă de sprijin pentru sănătatea mentală a voluntarilor săi care suferă traume de neimaginat. Întemeiată pe principiul evreiesc al bunătății adevărate, ZAKA este cea mai importantă organizație de răspuns la dezastre din Israel. Cu 4.000 de voluntari răspunde la atacuri teroriste, dezastre naturale și evenimente cu victime în masă din întreaga lume. Dincolo de asistența medicală de urgență, ZAKA asigură recuperarea demnă și înmormântarea victimelor, o misiune sacră aflată în centrul valorilor evreiești. Eforturile umanitare ale ZAKA se extind la nivel global, aducând lumină asupra unora dintre cele mai întunecate crize din lume, de la războiul din Ucraina până la incendiile devastatoare din California. În ciuda faptului că sunt martori ai tragediilor îngrozitoare, voluntarii ZAKA nu au acces la sprijin psihologic de specialitate, deoarece guvernul Israelului are un buget limitat. Există o nevoie urgentă de ajutor pentru acești eroi civili pentru a primi îngrijirea pe care o merită.
Our special guest in our today's program is Mr. Marnix van Ede from Jerusalem, Israel. He is the Director, International Relations of the humanitarian organization ZAKA in Israel. Marnix, welcome in our program. Would you be so kind to introduce yourself to the audience?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm the new kid on the block at ZAKA. ZAKA is indeed a humanitarian organization and stands for Zihui Korbanot Ason, what means disaster victim identification, and exists since 1995. It started off by responding to the terror attacks in Israel, and up until the recent terror attack on the 7th of October, where ZAKA did a tremendous work, but ZAKA is also active all around the world, from 9/11, Haiti, even in Turkey, where they helped with the earthquakes. Everywhere they go.
And can you tell us something more specifically? What kind of work does ZAKA do?
Yeah, ZAKA goes in the first instance to save lives, but the speciality of ZAKA is also the recovery and of bodies and remains of people, and making sure that they are identified and in the end have a proper dignified burial.
And then the war of 7 October and the atrocities of Hamas in the southern part of Israel on the October 7, that was a huge challenge for your volunteers and the people who are working for ZAKA because of all those dead bodies and remains.
Yes, it was to such an extent that people had never seen such a big disaster, so to say, and many of our colleagues were either in the synagogue celebrating Simchat Torah, when they do keep their phones on as well, and started to receive messages that things were going on and were requested for help, and people jumped in their cars and went down south. But even driving down south, they encountered already like a horror movie with cars along the road and with bodies on the street, but it was so much that they could not even get closer to, for example, one of the kibbutzim, the villages, or to the Nova festival where the biggest disaster took place, there were so many casualties, so many dead people that they were working for days and for months to identify the bodies and making sure that the family knew what had happened to their loved ones. Yeah,
it must be of a huge impact on the personal life and the emotions of those volunteers dealing with these bodies, dealing with even the remains of the bodies? How do they deal with that impact?
It is not just affecting the volunteers itself, it's affecting entire families, because what they have seen, they say even animals don't do that to each other. It's to such an extent which is unimaginable, and to whom can they speak about it? When they go home, they can't speak with their families about it. And there are also families of ZAKA where the husband and the wife and maybe a son or a daughter are all volunteers of ZAKA, and there's maybe one other person in the family who isn't, and then she is left out of it. It's the most unexpected circumstances that you encounter, and the people are truly traumatized, and a big help is needed. Unfortunately, the government doesn't have the funds to help all these traumatized and people with PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome, to help them all. And the government has a limited budget. Most of it goes to the army, but even for them it's not enough. But the volunteers of ZAKA are civilians, so they don't have another coverage than their own maybe insurance. So they have nowhere to go, and they all need help. It's a big problem in Israel.
So you have about 4,000 volunteers in ZAKA, and they are offering help to the victims and to the families, but they also need help themselves in the sense of a therapy.
They need therapy in resilience. They need help to give all they have seen a place and how to deal with it, and to be able to move on. The biggest impact was, of course, the 7th of October. But in general, the work of ZAKA is going to disasters, to car accidents where they encounter children who have died, or see the eyes of the parents in front of them, and those are images that will stay with them, and they get a lot of strength. It's a Jewish organization from origin, and they get a lot of strength, of course, through faith. It's very deep.
So the work and the activities of ZAKA is growing, is increasing over the years.
Yes. It started off by simply, so to say, responding to terror attacks. But over the years, since '95, it has grown drastically, and to such an extent with all kinds of different units, even a diving unit, a K9 with search and rescue dogs, and many different departments within the organization, and they go all around the world.
And are other countries demanding for the help and the assistance of ZAKA when something happens, like in the United States with the fires, or with the accidents in Turkey? That's even an enemy of Israel, and you're going to help them?
Yes. They had to, even with protection, they had to go inside, but they are there to save lives, and they don't care about who it is. Also on the 7th of October, they had to take care of the bodies of thousands of terrorists, but the volunteers say it's not up to me to judge this person who I'm taking care of. It's up to God to judge this person, and they take care of anyone.
Originally, you come from Holland.
Yes.
Marnix, how did you get involved in Israel, and how did you get involved in ZAKA?
Yes, I grew up in a Christian family in the Netherlands, and Israel has always been the focus also in the church where I come from, and people were praying already in the 1800s for the return of the Jewish people. But at a certain age, I also wanted to find out what faith meant for myself. And I thought maybe the only place where I can find out more about God is Israel. And I got in touch with Roger, the director of Christians for Israel, who I know very well. And he said to me, if you go, just let me know. And he introduced me in Israel to the Jewish Orthodox organization Hineni, with a humanitarian restaurant and their soup kitchen and all kind of social programs. And I just started helping there. And I said, I'm here to serve, to help. I have no agenda. And that was a very unique position as a Christian in this organization. And I set up even a Christian desk for Christians to have similar experience in this organization, and that they could experience Shabbat dinners and meeting with rabbis and locals. But anyway, my whole presence in Israel changed my life. I had an undeniable encounter with God at the Sea of Galilee, and it has never been the same anymore. And I just said, okay, here I am. I'm here to serve. Tell me what I should do. And he made very clear that it had to do with Israel. And I just obeyed this, but he didn't make clear in which way. And that's why I just started serving in the soup kitchen back in Holland. I had my own career and house and everything. But it was as if he was stripping me of my arrogance, which I had back in the Netherlands, and in Israel I had nothing. I was sleeping in a small room inside the office of Hineni, and ate from the soup kitchen, and I've never been so happy. But through that I experienced Israel from within and discovered such a different Israel than I knew through the media. And in the first instance, I set up an organization called Missing Peace, which was sending background information of what was happening in Israel, and the missing piece what was lacking, but also in information. Yes, soon I already discovered that it's so hard to change people, their opinions, if they're back in their own environment. And the best way to change people is by bringing them to Israel and show to them with their own eyes. Yeah. So I started to organize tours, and in the end I got in touch with a tour operator called Keshet in Israel, and they asked, don't you want to come work for us? And since then I've been organizing for Christians to have life-changing or similar experiences in Israel, and to encounter the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in Israel. That has been my passion, to see other lives being changed as well. And that's why I did these tours. But in the last year, just when after the 7th of October, I got in touch with ZAKA, who I knew that were doing a holy work, and started helping them by making them known also in the non-Jewish world. And in the end, they said to me last year, don't you want to come and work for us? And now I'm on the unique position of reaching out to the non-Jewish world and making ZAKA known in that world.
So that's your work now, making ZAKA known in the non-Jewish world,
yes.
For instance in the Christian world,
yes.
to motivate people to support ZAKA.
Yes.
And that is a huge important thing. So it's evident, Marnix, that God gave you in your heart love for the Jewish people, love for Israel, yes. That's definite. And He also gave you a huge calling to serve Israel and the Jewish people.
Yes.
Wonderful,
yes.
wonderful. Marnix, what is ZAKA's biggest need at the moment?
The biggest need is that we need help with the whole PTSD and trauma of ZAKA's volunteers. The vision is to create resilience centers in all over Israel, in the biggest cities. But of course we start just with one, where people can receive treatment and come there to relax and to have therapy and being helped. And it's not just the volunteers itself, but it's even for family members that need help and that are affected as well.
And what's your vision for the future?
Our biggest dream is to create of ZAKA like the Jewish Red Cross. We want to create an independent Jewish Red Cross. Maybe give it the symbol of the menorah, which is the oldest symbol of Israel, but create an independent organization. ZAKA is already recognized by the UN as an international disaster organization, help organization. But we would also like to create this independency that ZAKA can go all over the world as fast as possible and help there where help is needed.
Yeah. How can people who watch this program, how can they support ZAKA?
You can become a friend of ZAKA if you go to www.FO, which stands for friendsofzaka.org. And then you can become a friend of ZAKA and become a supporter, but also through Christians for Israel. Many of the local branches of Christians for Israel are already supporting ZAKA, so they can connect through a local branch and through that support ZAKA. Correct.
Yeah. Well, great. ZAKA is indeed one of our projects that we, with love, support in Israel. And I also read in one of your documents on internet a text from the Bible, Proverbs 24, verse 11. And I want to read that to our audience. Proverbs 24, verse 11. Deliver those who are being taken away to death, and those who are staggering to slaughter. Oh, hold them back. Well, that's in. What does this text mean to you?
For ZAKA, it's exactly what we are doing, taking care of people that are in disasters and making sure you can still save lives, and if not, taking care of that what is remaining, and usually that's a big sign of hope for families. Yeah. Also at the 7th of October, there were moments that people didn't know if people were taken hostage into Gaza or that they would have that they died, and it was they found pieces of people whereby they got an answer. Yes, he passed away, but at least he's not taken hostage. And a big dilemma of if you should be happy or not. But at least any part can give people something to mourn for, and that's what ZAKA is doing, and it's seen as a holy work. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Marnix, for coming to our studio. And may the Lord, may the God of Israel bless you in your personal life, bless ZAKA, and bless the Jewish people in these challenging times in Israel.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching this program. I would like to invite you to pray for Israel, to pray for the Jewish people and the traumas that they are suffering in Israel. I would like to invite you to pray for ZAKA, this humanitarian organization that's all working with volunteers, not sponsored by the government, and all living on donations of people like you and me. Thank you very much, and may the God of Israel bless you all.
Emisiunea Ziua se apropie, se încheie aici. Vă mulțumim pentru atenție și vă dăm o nouă întâlnire săptămâna viitoare la aceeași oră. Sunt Codruța Burghelea, vă spun la revedere și Dumnezeu să vă binecuvânteze!